from yesterday on what is the gossip on you and by who. Hopefully we won't have any problems today. So, it's been kind of a problematic week over here though. I have a feeling it's kind of been that way a little bit for a lot of people this week. So, this first pile, this is pile 2, since we're starting with pile 2 after yesterday. I'm feeling like a lot of people in this first pile might have actually survived an honor killing of some sort. Something where somebody in your family or a spouse or a group of people of some sort may have felt like you broke the honor code in some sort of way and could have tried to destroy you because of it. It's kind of like when you have, say you have in some other countries like Islam or things like that, where a lot of times, say a wife cheats on her husband or leaves her husband, they're free to kill her. Kind of like they used to be everywhere else too. Or something along those lines. But honestly, it doesn't even matter if the place they're living allows it or not. Sometimes it still happens other places too. And sometimes those cultures still pass through down the line. Handmade, just kidding. Somebody could be saying that something you have said was handmade isn't. There might be something like that going on for some people here. We have Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries, and Cancer. People could be talking about some sort of fights or arguments, drama or chaos that you've gone through, especially if it's been going on within your family circle. People may be talking about your in-laws, or they may be talking about your spouse. They could also be talking about your father, especially if your father has passed. Somebody might be saying that your father is not your father for some of you as well. Somebody could be talking about a new partner that you have in your life. People may be remarking on how non-judgmental you are or how open-minded you are. How much differently you look at the world than other people do. People may be talking about your headstrongness or your stubbornness as well. Your fiery nature for some of you. QYZO. Hojanaki, for some reason that's coming up. There's a guy that does little shorts on here, and he's somebody who has been in prison a few times throughout his life, and he does a lot of them on chomos and stuff like that. Hojanaki is actually the name of one of the chomos. So people could be talking about a child that was molested as well. Zoinks. Somebody might have figured out a mystery they've been working on. QYZOINKQHU. Horus. SO. Every time I think about Horus, I think about it is I who desires the stick. Hudson, absorb. Orbs of light. People could be talking about orbs of light. Maybe somebody's been seeing orbs of light. Maybe there's been some orbs of light that have been kind of attracted to you or around you. You may have even been seeing some sort of orbs of light. This could definitely have something to do with a family member who crossed over as well. Hound. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, lying all the time. Oh, now the movie, what is the name of that movie? It has Reese Witherspoon when she's really little. Man in the Moon. is coming to mind. Somebody could be talking about you and a sibling being in a relationship with the same man as well. The both of you could have fell in love with the same man. This man could have recently died, or maybe here soon, if that's the case. Zoo. Yeah, somebody could have found out, they could have gotten a diagnosis in some way soon. Ink. Rink. Risk. Rinse. Quince. Oddly enough, somebody could have had quince. Or somebody could have 5 children. Somebody could be talking about somebody that has had multiple children from different people as well. Only. Love and Only the Heartless by Jelly Roll. Oink. Kin. Hunch. I think I know. I got a hunch. What is that? I mean it. If I say I'm never scared, just know I mean it. If I say I'm gonna fuck your bitch, just know I mean it. If I say I'm getting money, just know I mean it. 'Cause Lord, oh Lord, he knows I mean it. That is not my song, but it's a song. So, people could definitely be talking about the way you've been hustling. Hi, Kursika. The way you've been hustling, or the way you've been moving, the way that you've been facing things head on. Husky. They could be talking about your courage, your persistence. They could also be talking about you following through on the things that you say you're going to do. 41. A blessing is coming into you soon. Open your heart and your eyes. Believing is seeing. Know that you are protected and that your life purpose is very supported. So people are talking about your protection level as well. Like I was saying, that you've been able to endure and withstand a lot of things that have happened, and you've kept going. And I don't feel like you are somebody who shies away from things very easily. You're not somebody who's scared very easily or intimidated. They are non-committal and they can't handle their emotions well. When things get hard, they're gone. They throw fits and they need to grow up. Ask yourself who in your life this resembles. If it's you, then you need to work on your trust issues and your triggers. If not, and it reminds you of someone else, then this is the person that is projecting their blame so that they don't have to look in the mirror. Which happens a lot, because a lot of people don't really want to face who they are or what they've done in the past. Some of the people that are saying some of these things could even be some of the people who have put you in that energy. Because in the past, they could have been in a really aggressive, cruel energy at one point in time. They could have been going through a lot of their own pain, and now you're kind of going through your pain. There might actually be somebody that you least expect that is standing up for you at this time as well. And they haven't quite came clean about some of the things that they've done that added to some of the pain that you're in. But they may be doing that in the near future, especially if this is the person that got the diagnosis. By the way, Kursika, this is pile 2 from yesterday's reading. Your hair color stands out so much. Your style too for some. You're very different and you accept that and gain strength from it. So you guys are somebody who's very different. You stand out from the crowd. I'm just a weirdo. There's a song called Weirdo. What is it? Who sings that song? I wanted to say Imagine Dragons, but it's definitely not Imagine Dragons. You're very different from other people, and you don't allow that to bother you or tear you down. You allow yourself to embrace who you are and shine it bright for the world. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you too. for being here today. We have courage. Once again, people are talking about your courage. They're talking about your positivity in the face of such hardship as well. Your leadership capabilities and qualities is something that people are really admiring at this time. Protect the wild and green. The fact that you stand up and fight for those that don't have the power to do it for themselves, which does include things like nature and animals, children, maybe even other women that have been in abusive situations, or men that have been in abusive situations. Okay, it popped out and we're back in, and hopefully it's going to be smooth. Hi, Missouri Mystical. I hope you're doing good today. 9 of Cups. So people are talking about your emotional maturity and your emotional stability. They're talking about how fulfilled you are in and of yourself, how you find peace on your own. For some of you, you could have actually found peace leaving a certain situation as well. Whether that be leaving a certain person or leaving a family behind, 41, or leaving a religion behind or something along those lines. There's been a lot of times where I've talked about how, especially when dealing with really overly pushy Christian people who want to force me into believing what they believe and want to shove it down my throat, I have a tendency to tell them, you know what? Some people find peace by moving into that religion. And I understand that. But I have found peace by moving out of that religion. I was that religion most of my life. And I found peace by moving away from it. The 8 of Swords. People may be talking about you feeling kind of trapped or stuck in a way. People may be talking about the attacks that have come your way. Some people might be saying that this is in your mind because of the things you've gone through in your past. And some people actually may see some of the current things that you're going through now. I feel like there's been a lot of people that have attacked you throughout your life, though, very actively, forcefully in a lot of ways. But you stand strong against these attacks. And even if you do feel fear at times, you still stand strong against this. And you try to hold on to the love in your heart as you do. To remember to have compassion and empathy as you do. Forgiveness and understanding. You really are a very beautiful force in this world. You could actually leave a lot of people speechless. You might actually have a lot of people who end up kind of stuttering around you because of nervousness or something like that. 33. Thank you, beautiful, for sharing that. I'm glad it's resonating with you. The Lovers. For some of you, people could be talking about a same-sex relationship, whether that's you or somebody around you that you know. They're talking about your lack of judgment and your ability to embrace others who are different from you, and your ability to embrace yourself and the differences that you have. I'm under your spell. How else could it be? Anyone would notice me. It's magic, I can tell. You brought me out so easily. Somebody is definitely saying that you have caused them to open up, to bloom, to see themselves in a higher light, and to really embrace some of the parts of themselves that they've hidden for a long time. Somebody may actually be coming out of the closet at this time, and they may be crediting you for the strength and courage to be able to do that. And if not, you could be somebody who's coming out of this closet now, or in the near future you may be coming out of the closet, because that might be part of the reason why you're feeling a little trapped, or why you're overthinking things in some way, because you may be having a hard time really shining a light on some of the things that you've kept hidden for a long time. Some of you may be having a hard time expressing yourself to certain people or in certain situations when it comes to what you believe in, what you stand for, and what you fight for. And you may be gaining that courage by taking some time on your own to examine the situation from every perspective so that you can express things from the most loving place that you can. Somebody may be seeing things from a very different perspective than they did in the past as well. They might be seeing why you had to move away from a certain situation to do things on your own, for your own emotional healing and to find peace. That you weren't being selfish in doing this, that you were just trying to free yourself from the situation that felt like it was suffocating you in some way, or causing you to lose parts of yourself, or causing you to feel less than you are. So that's pretty much what I have for pile 1, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Would love to hear what you had to say about it. You are very good at reading people through their eyes as well. And thank you guys so much for being here today. Really appreciate all the support you send this way, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps or donations. Anybody who makes a purchase on this channel, thank you guys so much for all of your support. It really does help me out, and I really appreciate you guys. Rosie. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. So, pile 3. For you guys, ooh, let's see. Oh, I dropped my thing over here. Let's see what is going on in this reading for you. Pile 3. We have Cancer, Libra, Scorpio, passionate, Capricorn, ambitious. People may be talking about a situation that you're dealing with regarding the law, or maybe even a situation that you're dealing with where the karmic laws are balancing the scales out. And it may even be a situation with family, or it could be a situation with friends that you consider family. It may be a situation where you have been called upon to show grace because these people are receiving their punishments. So the scales are being balanced. And if you choose to still take your revenge or something along those lines, then it's going to imbalance the scales again, and it will fall back on you. People may be talking about some sort of coldness that you've been feeling or going through, or somebody around you who has been very cold in some way. They may be talking about your ambition, or your hard work, or your work ethic. They could also be talking about your family-oriented nature. Some of you could be a nurturer, a caregiver, a nurse, a social worker, a teacher, even a therapist. Some of you could be thinking about getting into the law as well. Hi, Moonlightic. Nice to see you, beautiful. People are talking about how passionate you are, how good at debate you are. Death, sex, and taxes. People could be talking about an inheritance or about something to do with finances in some way. What's owed to you. People could be talking about what's owed to you. 73 and 83. I'm not doing too bad today. It's been a fairly stressful week, though, and a lot going on. Definitely a lot going on. So these people could be people that are part of your friends, like your really close friendship circle, your partner, an ex-partner, family, things like that. L, P, LLC, lapdog, X, Y, XYZ, V. Oh, an Aquarius, friendly. 63. 2017. Could be important. Somebody could have started setting something up in 2017 because maybe they knew that something was coming up and they were going to need to have things prepared beforehand. And they could have had more prepared than anybody ever thought. People might have underestimated this person. This person could have set something up specifically for you in some way. People could also be talking about a setup that somebody took action to take against you as well. Thank you, beautiful. Yeah, there's been a lot of that too. Just needing a break and a little bit of procrastination this last week, honestly. So, there could be somebody that's like at the head of something, in control of something in some way, at the top of something, passing the baton. V, T, TV. E, pet. T, let, letter. L, D, U, P, W, Z, velvet. There could be something about a pet that was lost long ago too. 44, 22, vet, velt, dealt, wet, wept. Somebody may actually be crying over some of their actions that they don't feel like were very high vibrational. Somebody could have lost a pet and there could have been a lot of emotions about this. Or somebody could be really worried about what's going to happen with their pet in some way. Puddle. What popped in my mind when I said that was the other day when my dogs were drinking out of the puddle over here. So these are the letters and the zodiac signs. Welt. Somebody could be talking about somebody getting an ass beating, or somebody could be talking about some sort of abuse as well. Pelt. Yell. Deal. Peel. An appeal to a case. A lawsuit could be coming up as well. Lewd. Lewd conduct. And the first thing that pops in my mind when I say lewd conduct is lewd conduct with a minor. Vest. The movie Up. This person is far too impulsive. They're all over the place. I wish that they would just settle down. Be you and take the risks that you need to take, but be calculated. It makes life worth living. Others are bitter because they are stuck and stagnant, but won't leave their comfort zone to create a shift. So, could be people that are bitter because they are staying stuck in place while you're moving forward. And there could be people trying to put roadblocks in your way or obstacles in your way in some way. There are definitely people who see this and are noticing this and talking about it. And then there's also people that are trying to say that you're just too impulsive, you're doing too many things, you're changing too much, or that you're non-committal, or you just won't settle down and pick a place, or whatever the case may be. Or there could actually even be situations outside of your control that are causing you to have to move around very regularly as well. Some people might be blaming that on you not thinking beforehand or something like that, but you know what? We don't always have that chance or opportunity. Sometimes things just happen. This person has mental disorders and is far too sensitive. Can't they just be normal? I don't want to be seen with them. They make me look bad by creating scenes. Somebody has a very big issue with allowing people to see who they are, with allowing people to see behind their mask. They have a really big problem with imperfection. They may be a perfectionist, and they may be constantly trying to dim their light and constantly trying to make sure that nobody sees them, hears them, or notices them. They could have grown up in a household where children were not meant to be seen or heard. And I'm not saying they're meant to be seen and not heard, because they're not meant to be seen either. They're meant to be seen as something to be a trophy to their parents, basically, but that's about it. They bring them out and around when they want people to notice them and see their accomplishments on how well behaved their trained little poodle is, but not as an actual human being, not as an actual, even with your animals, because you know what? People do that with animals too. And I don't do that with my animals, and I have to fight about that with a lot of people because it's irritating. They don't want to just be your little slave any more than a human does. This person has mental disorders. So people could be saying something about some sort of mental health issues that you have. Somebody could have like ADHD, or somebody could have gone through a lot of really severe abuse at some point in their life as well. There could be somebody who has bipolar or is borderline as well. Honestly, I feel like people are made to think differently for a reason. And a lot of people just need to learn how to have more patience and understanding when it comes to things like that. Because if they did, then the people that they're claiming are too emotional wouldn't be as emotional anyway. And some people just don't have enough emotions because they're far too robotic in their emotions as well. 44. I feel like you guys have been building a very strong foundation for yourself. And I feel like you're going to be celebrating a lot of wins here in the near future. And there's a lot of shifts and changes going on in your life right now. You could have had people who just didn't see you as the beauty that you are, because they can't even see the beauty inside themselves. So how are they supposed to see it in anybody else, in their own differences? They try to blend into the crowd, or they try to dumb themselves down or dim their light, because it's too hard to live in that light a lot of times, and it's too hard to be as different as they are a lot of times. And so instead they'll just try to fit in, and somebody may be very irritated with you taking the steps to stand out because they aren't allowing themselves to do that in their own life. They aren't fighting the grain in their own life, and so since they just go with the grain, they can't understand why you can't either, because they feel like it's easier to do that. For some people it might be, but for other people it's far harder to do that than it is to go the way you're going. Know that you belong. Time to ground. So it's time to get grounded. It's time to be patient with yourself. It's time to be patient with others. And it's time to understand that sometimes other people's journey towards finding themselves and expressing themselves is going to be a lot slower and take a lot longer than it will for you. It may take some people a lot longer to break out of certain things than it does you, and some may never. And be patient with yourself as well. Be understanding with you too. Because if you could just shut yourself in this box again and go back to being asleep, I'm sure you would, because some of you at this point probably feel like it is far easier to do it that way. But honestly, if you really did try to do it again, it would be far harder. 95. 10 of Wands. So somebody may be feeling very burdened or depressed. You may feel like there's a lot of chaos going on around you at this time, or people may be noticing how much chaos is going on around you, how much you have on your shoulders, how much it's affecting you. People may also be discussing the burden of a very strong loss in your life, whether it has happened yet or if they know that it's coming up. People could be talking about the amount of responsibility that you have on your shoulders. And they're also talking about the strength it takes to bear this burden. There's a lot of people that are defending you and saying that at this time you've got a lot going on. And that it's okay that you're grieving. And it's okay that everything's a little bit in disarray right now. Because you've been a responsible person for so long and you've had so much on your shoulders for so long. At some point you need a little bit of help and support, and I don't feel like there's been a whole lot of people behind you to help and support you. And so there might actually be people that are chastising these people that are saying these things about you as well and defending you in your absence. Knight of Cups. Some people could be saying that you're a little bit emotionally immature or a little bit flighty. People are saying that you have a very big imagination, you have a lot of love in your heart, and you wear your heart on your sleeve. You are somebody that is definitely quick to express your emotions. You bring a very calm energy to people's lives the majority of the time. You're very graceful, flowing, free-flowing. You're not somebody who really likes to be tied down or trapped. I'm very grateful that your daughter's there helping you. It's always nice when you have that. My daughter actually wrote a letter to the judge. She didn't know if she was going to send it yet or not, but she wrote a letter to the judge. And she wrote the most amazing song ever recently. Boy, if anybody thinks that I'm a good writer, she's going to be 10 times that writer. And then she was talking about, now she just needs to find somebody to sing it. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have like the most beautiful voice on the planet. Why are you not singing your song? You love singing. And I haven't heard you sing in so long. You better practice that song because I want to hear you sing it. Somebody could actually be talking about the creative pursuits that you've been working on as well. She sounds beautiful. People are definitely talking about the shocking news or the situations that have fallen apart in your life, or even if there's been something that has happened with you that has shocked them, something they never thought would happen. People may also be talking about the way that you have taken it upon yourself to sacrifice in some way for somebody that you love, or how somebody has done that for you. This could be a sibling, or this could be people could be talking about how much you sacrificed for your siblings growing up as well, if you took a lot of responsibility on your shoulders in that way, or even for your own children. How you really had to grow up at a very young age. And I feel like a lot of you, there might be somebody saying that you're emotionally immature, but others are like, oh no, this person's been so responsible for so long. This is the first time they've really ever been able to bring out that more childlike energy in their life since they were a child. Like since really young, 8 to 10 years old, that kind of thing. 86, 57. 10 of Scythes. So yeah, people could be talking about a betrayal that happened, or about somebody who set something into motion when they were in a dark energy, and it caused a situation where you had to take action to hurt someone you loved to make things right for everyone else, for the greater good in some way. And how this person may have not understood at first why you had to take the action you had to take. But I feel like they will in time, even if they don't now. Because there's something that is far more important at stake. And so you might have had to end a situation in some way. And there could be somebody that's really upset about it, saying that you're really emotional, or really impulsive, or somebody could be saying you betrayed them in some way, or somebody could be saying that you betrayed somebody in some way. And I feel like you didn't really betray anybody. but you may have actually had to put a situation to rest in some way for the greater good, because you were following your intuition and trusting in it. And also because you needed to separate yourself from some sort of energy to be able to ground yourself and to be able to think clearly again and be at peace in your life. And it's very important for you to be at peace for the world around you as well, because I feel like your energy is very strong and it really affects the world around you. 3541, the path. People are talking about the path that you're on and how it's been lit up, how you're following that path very solidly, how you're following the path of light. Your communication also leads the way for others to be able to see their way through the dark. So even if you do have to move away from situations, 76, or you have to separate yourself in some way, or you have to detach in some way, these people will find their way to where they need to be from this path that you left behind. Kind of like when Hansel and Gretel left the breadcrumbs through the forest, which they weren't able to follow back home, but you know, the point being is that there's this path that's left behind. And it may be a hard one to follow, but the people that you've left behind to follow this path are going to make their way out of that darkness. And that's why you had to take the path that you did, is to show them that way, so that they could do that in their own lives too, so that they could climb their way out of the holes that they're in. So that's pretty much what I have for this pile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear what you guys had to say about it, whether or not it resonated, what you might be going through, all those kinds of things. I always love to hear from you guys and to hear your stories. It also helps other people to see that they're not alone as well. And thank you guys so much for whatever ways you support this channel. Anybody who likes, shares, comments, subscribes, donates to the channel. Anybody who makes purchases to the channel. And you can find my services and price description in the, or prices in the description box below. Thank you guys for that. It really does help me out so much. You have no idea how much that helps me. The people who work on YouTube do not make a whole lot of money. So a lot of the things that you guys do really helps us on that front, especially since it helps us to be able to grow the channel and get more views, to where we do end up making a little bit more money from the channel itself later as well. Hi, Al Knight. Which card? The Path. Once again, thank you guys so much, and I really hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. If you're referring to this one, this is the As Above deck from the Book of Shadows Tarot. There's a As Above and So Below. I don't use that deck quite as often, and it just ended up in my pile when I took my piles and put them away yesterday till today. So I was like, well, it's staying there now. All right, guys, I will see you next time, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.